If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. Tip my hat to the sun in the west. Feel the beat right in my chest. At the crossroads a second time. Make the devil change his mind. It's a pound of flesh, but it's really a ton. 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Hello, I'm Third Will. Freedom of speech is one of the cornerstones of our nation and has always been a topic of debate. As more civil liberties groups and SJWs pop up, the more free speech is screamed, with those groups starting to use trendy buzz terms like triggered, or my personal favorite, hate speech, which is defined by dictionary.com as noun, speech that attacks, threatens, or insults a person or group on the basis of national origin, ethnicity, color, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, or disability, which in my humble opinion is ignorant and is a form of censorship. Okay, so before I'm comment bombed about how I'm ignoring racism, sexism, or even pro-homo transphobia, let me clarify. I think there is still some hate speech out there. However, in the grand scheme of things, I believe it's not as bad as certain groups would have you believe. When I say censorship, I'm talking about groups like feminism, Black Lives Matter, and social justice warriors, who use this word, 1, to censor anyone who disagrees with them, 2, to guilt or trigger someone into reacting to prove their point or join their cause, which ironically, most of the time, scream the loudest about free speech and how they are being censored. Now let's take a look at free speech, and then I'll bring up some pros and cons about censorship, which naturally I'm not a fan of, but we'll get into that. So, according to Wikipedia.com, in general, censorship in the United States, which involves the suppression of speech or public communication, raises issues of freedom of speech, which is protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. It goes on to say, the First Amendment protects against censorship imposed by laws, but does not give protection against corporate censorship, the sanctioning of speech by spokespersons, employees, and business associates by threat of monetary loss, loss of employment, or loss of access to the marketplace. So, basically you have the freedom of speech as it pertains by law. However, does not pertain to obscenities or use by spokesmen, employees, or business associates. So there goes that argument. Now let's take a look at the pros and cons of censorship. I found a list of pros on laws.com, and I'm going to give my own opinions as the cons on this. I am biased against censorship on the whole, but there are some things that I understand why they are. Laws.com states that censorship controls the information that is brought to society. Although most countries use some form of censorship, there are pros and cons of the act of censoring. Some pros of censorship include: number 1, the censor of pornographic material prevents the corruption of children. Okay, this is kind of a no-brainer. I believe that if parents are doing their jobs, this wouldn't be a problem. However, porn is not a risk if children are educated properly. Number 2, censorship helps preserve the secrets of a nation being revealed. Con: who decides what a secret should be? Also, this is, in my opinion, how corruption can hide. I do get that there are some people who would not be able to handle some truths. However, we have that now. Also, if the populace is better educated, that would help, but that's a different video. Number 3. The act of censorship helps protect individuals' privacy. Con? Personally, I do not see this as a pro or con of censorship. To me, it's more of a different subject, such as the Privacy Act, which in this age of computers and social media also tends to render this out from being a censorship topic. Number 4. The act of censorship helps prevent terrorist groups from learning about dangerous technological advances. So this has already been covered in Keeping of National Secrets Pro, which is kind of useless because knowing about something and knowing how it works and where it is and how to get it are totally different. Number 5. Censorship can help hide sensitive military information. Seriously? We just went over this. No. Next one. Number 6. It helps avoid plagiarism. Oh my god. Really? That would be copyright law. Moving on. Number 7. Censorship protects children from learning things that could potentially harm them. This site isn't even trying. Okay, let's forget the fact I already covered this with the porn thing. So let's just cover our kids in bubble pack and store them away until they're 18. Because anything could be potentially harmful. Uneducated of something is far more dangerous than, say, I don't know, maybe teaching them about it, but that's a lot of work, right? Number 8. It limits the amount of violence that is broadcasted over television. Except for, say, the news, which is corrupted, but I already covered that. Number 9. It limits the amount of obscenity and vulgarity seen on television and in movies. Con. Once again, it doesn't account for the media, which is protected under freedom of the press, but even this pro is becoming passé, where movies are showing and allowing more on screens. Number 10. It protects the morals of society and religions. Oh my god. Con. This one makes my head hurt. Freedom of religion is also one of the cornerstones of our nation, which protects religion and allows people to worship as they wish. Who decides the morals of society, and who protects people from religious nut bars who push their views on people who wish to worship a different way? Number 11. It limits the amount of abuse that is viewed over the television. Con. Who writes this? We get information that is vulgar or violent, abusive, or even pornographic is bad. Okay, so truth hurts, and it's not very pretty, but it is still the truth. This is why people are so repressed. Number 12. Thank God we've reached the end. It prevents negative displays of culture, individuals, or communities. You've got to be shitting me. This is the type of sweep it under the rug bullshit that does not help us learn from our mistakes. If we cannot look at ourselves as individuals, how can we better ourselves or our communities or even our culture that this pro is so willing to try to protect? So, in closing, I believe censorship is a safety blanket against ourselves and our civilization as a whole. We need to be able to learn about our good and our bad to better ourselves and the next generations. Once again, if you disagree, that's fine. I encourage it, and please let me know in a civil manner. If you do agree, awesome. But do your own research and form your own opinions, because that's how we can grow as a culture. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. The sites I use will be down below. And once again, this is Third Wheel, and this has just been my humble perspective.